Hello, welcome to this birthday Pilates class. It's my birthday, and guess what? It's Joseph Pilates' birthday today on the 9th of December. So I wanted to share with you just like a little mini express Pilates workout. This is going to be suitable for all levels. We're going to get the spine mobilized, ready for the day, and a little bit of strength work on the core. You don't need anything. I just want you to lie down on your back. Now, as always in Pilates, the first thing is checking our position and checking the alignment. We want the right muscles to be doing the right job, so we need to be in the correct position. So as you lie down, I want you to check your position. So your feet are going to be shoulder distance apart, so about a fist distance between your knees and your legs. And you've got that straight line from the feet leading to the knees, to the fronts of the hips, and to the shoulders. And we're spreading out the toes. We've got equal pressure on our big toes, the little toes, the backs of the heels. So we're not rolling in and we're not rolling out. We want the collarbones opening out wide. We want to just let the chin nod to the chest so the back of the neck is long. Now, if you're lying in this position and the chin is lifting and you're looking behind you, then you might need a very small folded up towel under your head just to get that alignment in the neck. Now, first of all, we're going to work on mobility. We're going to get our spine moving. So I want you to place your hands on the front of your pelvis and feel the ridges of the hip bones on the heel of your hands and feel the pubic bone on the fingertips. So your hands are in this triangular position. Now, we're going to just start to move the pelvis. So can you press your lower back down? So now you can feel the pubic bone is higher than the hips. Your fingertips are higher than the heel of the hands. But then can you release it so you come back to that neutral position so that your fingertips and heel of the hands are level. Let's do that again. So you're just gently imprinting the lower back, tilting your pelvis, and then you're going to release it. And again, so your spine is connected to the pelvis. So each time your pelvis moves, your lumbar spine, your lower back moves. And we want to create mobility in the spine. As we go through our daily lives, we lose that spinal mobility. And it's really important. So that's what we're working on here. And don't worry too much if you're not getting much movement to begin with. It's about practicing, making Pilates your practice, and you'll get more mobility, you'll get more strength in your body. We're just going to do a couple more here. Once you've got that feedback with the hands, you can place the arms on the floor. And again, imprint the lower back, curl the pelvis, and return to neutral. Now this time, let's press the lower back, curl the pelvis, but let's start to peel the back, the spine away from the floor. Now we come up to shoulder bridge. We want that equal pressure across the upper back. Want to make sure the pubic bone is higher than the hips. And we're going to let the spine lower. So we're not going to just plonk it down on the floor in one go. We're trying to get that articulation through the spine. So we're trying to tilt the pelvis for as long as possible, and then we return it back to neutral. And then let's go again. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, imprint the lower back, tilting, peeling that spine up. And you're going to hold it at the top as you take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, you're letting your spine lower, curling the pelvis as you release it. Now keep this movement going. Go with the breathing pattern if you can, but remember, the breathing is a tool, not a rule. So don't worry too much if you're not breathing in or out at the time that I say. Just keep breathing. Think about your movement. Imagine it like a wave as it rolls through the spine. And as you do this, make sure that you still got that equal pressure on each foot. You don't want one side working harder than the other. This is your last one for now as you lower your spine all the way down. Now, once your pelvis is down on the floor, it's in a neutral position. Keep the legs apart, but let your legs roll to the right. So the left side of your bottom comes up, but I want you to keep the shoulders down on the floor. Bring your legs to the center. Now your legs roll to the left side and the right side, the bottom comes off the floor. Bring it back. Now, as you do this spinal movement rotation, I want you to really think of your collarbones opening to the sides of the room. The shoulders are imprinted down into the floor. Now come back. Let's add those movements together. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to imprint. You're tilting, You're peeling the spine up. When you're at the top, take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, curl your pelvis. As you let your spine lower. Now, once it's down on the floor, let your legs roll to the right side. And then you're going to bring it back to the center. Now your legs are rolling to the left side. Bring it back. Ready for your shoulder bridge again. So take that breath in. As you breathe out, we're imprinting, we're tilting and peeling the spine up. Hold it at the top there and then let your spine lower, curling that pubic bone up all the way down as you release it. Once you're down there, let your legs roll to the right and bring them back to the center. Let your legs roll to the left side and bring them back. Now we're going to stay centered. Now we're going to start to work on our core strength. Your core muscle is like a belt, an internal belt. It wraps around underneath the stomach muscles, around the side of the waist, and across the lower back. So it creates that stability in your center. So I want you to imagine you're tightening a belt at the end of an out breath. So let's take a breath in. Now, as you let the breath out, visualize that internal belt as you draw your belly button into the spine. So you don't necessarily have to be pressing the lower back down. Just think of that muscle activating. And then can you release it? Can you switch it off? Let's go again. Take a breath in. As you let the breath out, think of that belt tightening, feeling it wrapping around. Draw the navel in. But then I want you to release it, switch it off. So I want you to be able to know the difference from that core muscle being switched on versus switched off. Let's go again. Take a breath in. Now, as you let the breath out, tighten the belt. Now, this time, keep it switched on. So I want you to keep the belly button in. Now, everyone has a different shaped lower back. So you might have your lower back pressed to the floor. You might have an arch on the lower back, which is fine, but I don't want that arch to increase. So I want you to use your core muscles to keep the back still as your right leg comes to tabletop. So tabletop is when your knees above the hips, shin parallel. Now these stomach muscles are going to keep the lower back still as your left leg comes up. Good, holding it there. Now the core muscles are going to keep the back still as your right leg lowers. The lower it gets to the floor, that's where you're going to get that challenge. Keep tightening the belt. And then your left leg lowers down. So let's go again. We're going to breathe in as the right leg comes up. As we breathe out, the left leg comes up. Keep those core muscles switched on. Now, as your right leg lowers, how much can you tighten the belt? Good. Let the left leg lower. And again. Now, if this movement feels enough for you, then stay with this version. If you want a little bit more challenge, then keep the legs up and move from this position. So as your leg lowers, you pause it, you tighten that belt, and get that mind-body connection with the core. Let the core muscles pull the leg back up. And now the other leg. So remember, as always, listen to your body. We can always modify your movement. And it's about getting each level perfect and then moving on to the next level as your body gets stronger and stronger. Bring it back. We're going to do one more. Now, this time you're going to bring it back. And I want you to glue your legs together, super glue them together. Our arms open out wider, palms up to the ceiling. Now your knees are level and I want them to remain level. Now you're going to roll your legs to the right side a little bit. The left side of the bottom lifts, but is that right knee still level with the left knee? Are you squeezing those legs together still? Now lengthen your arms, push your arms down into the floor. Feel like you're pushing the floor away from you as you bring it back to the center. And the knees are still level. Let's go the other side. If this doesn't feel good for your body, then do this with your feet on the floor. Now stay here. Squeeze your legs together. Press your shoulders into the floor. Bring it back. And again. So this is not about making this a big movement. We're working more on stability here. Strength and stability. Squeeze the legs together. We're strengthening these muscles down the side of the waist. And then you're going to bring it back. And again, we're going over towards the left side. And we're squeezing those legs together. And then bring it back to the center. And we're just going to do one more on each side. So building up our core strength at the sides of the core as well as the front. And then we're bringing it back to the center. And again, we're going over to that left side. And then you're going to bring it back to the center. As you come to the center, separate the legs. Let your right leg low without that arch increasing in the lower back. Remember, let the left leg lower. Lift the arms up, place the hands back on the front of the pelvis. And let's get that pelvis moving like you did in the beginning. And as you move the pelvis, check your position like we did in the beginning. Your feet shoulder distance, the line from your feet, your knees, hips, shoulders. And just see now after this short Pilates session, are you getting a bit more movement in the pelvis, a bit more movement in the lower back? Now place your arms on the floor. Let's go back to that shoulder bridge we started with. So breath in. As you breathe out, imprint the lower back. Tilt as you peel up. Hold it at the top and then let the top of the back lower, the mid back, the lower back, and the pelvis last of all. Once you're down on the floor, your legs roll to the right and bring it back. And then your legs roll to the left. Notice if you've got more movement now in the spine than you did in the beginning. One more to the right. Bring it back to the center. One more over to the left side and bring it back. Let's do one more shoulder bridge. Take that breath in. Breathe out. Find that pelvic tilt. We're peeling up. Holding it there at the top and then letting your spine lower down, curling that pubic bone up as you release it. And then rolling to the right. Keep this going. So just feel the difference that Pilates, just this very short session of Pilates has done for your body. You've got mobility. We've worked a little bit of strength. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you feel good and have an amazing day. Thank you.